shit besides,
No,
something about
we're
Ron
live.
Logan. Huh?
We are live
What?
now.
Oh, we are. Like I said,
That's
I know a
normal.
lot about this topic. Go ahead, Criptex.
How are you, farmer?
I'm all right. Oh, I do. I'm good. I
We,
gotta mute this. I got that double thing going on. Hang on, just a second. There we go.
wait.
Whew, that was weird. Okay, I had when you have YouTube and StreamYard open at the same time, and then it starts like that loop of shit in your head, and you don't know what's going on. That's what was happening.
And I think it was on my side too. Okay, I
Oh,
think now we are good.
yeah, I'm
Finally.
good. Yep, I am finally good. I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. It's been a kind of a struggle around here. Mom's not doing so good no more, and they're gonna end up keeping her, I guess, for a little bit. And but I'm getting it done. How about you? How's Canada up there? You guys got what do you got? A couple feet of snow yet on the ground, or what's going on?
Good, man. So glad to have you here again, man. I'm glad you're back. We have our friend Shane Coincidin,
Oh yeah,
Criptex
Shane.
and Farmer. All boys, good to see you. Good to see you, Shane. Good to see you, Johnson, Junior Johnson as well. So yeah, man. Nice to have you back, man. So finally, you were able to fix your technical problems
Mhm.
with your computer, right?
Right. Essentially what I did was the one that broke I don't know, some months back. I had my desk came crashing down, and really I just had to sort of connect the clip on the side and push it back in, and it made something jostle in there, and it fired right up. So here I am. I'm live. I mean, it is what it is, but as long as you guys can hear me, I guess that's about all you can ask for. I feel like I froze up, or maybe both of us froze up. Can you guys, everybody hear everybody? We got
Can
some
hear
pretty bad
you.
weather going on right now. There we
I
go.
can hear you perfectly, man.
Okay,
Perfect
good.
sound.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're right in the middle of some pretty severe weather right now. It's not coming down as bad right now, but it was lightning, the whole deal.
yeah, I imagine. Terrible. We have also from the Theory 21 from Australia. Nice to have you here, man, too. So today we're gonna talk about the not so fantastic
Right.
the four prisoners or the four inmates that the defense is gonna call to interrogate during the process. So we have Keegan Klein, we have James Brian Chadwell, we have a guy called James Haas, and
That guy.
the other one is Ricky Davis. So we're gonna talk a little bit about this, and yeah, man. Let's see. Let's brainstorm a little bit about this. What's the idea of the defense here, bringing these people into the table? You want
Right.
to start with some
Well, I mean,
ideas, Farmer?
how about just a little theory first, rather than diving into the individuals? I think that, uh, like your question is like, why? What is the motivation for this? Now, um, obviously, if they think there is a nexus point, between any of these characters and the narrative of Bridge Guy being, Richard Allen. And if there's a nexus point bringing them together, yes, okay, fine. But I was under the impression that Judge Gall had ruled that things that weren't officially, sort of related to the case were not admissible in the courtroom. I mean, they don't have all year to just, go over every little thing. So then? Uh, are they contending or saying that these witnesses are indeed going to have a nexus moment with this case and possibly be exculpatory evidence going forward? I'd ask you, Criptex.
Yeah, something like that. But I have a lot of theories, and let's see how my mind is gonna work tonight. But I always said that the defense they had some cards under the sleeve. One of my theories was that the Odinist angle was just something that even the defense they didn't believe in that shit, And they were using that theory during months and months and months just to distract the prosecution. And they have, maybe because Baldwin and Rosie, they are sharks. Maybe they have like another big angle, let's say, different to the audience, and they didn't present that during those months, so the prosecution couldn't work on that. Let's say. Let's start by the less or the weirdest guy here with this, which is who is James Brian Chadwell.
Right.
Why do you think
Real
that Chadwell?
real sweetheart of a guy?
Oh my God, it's a psycho, man. From all of them, this is the scariest guy, man. Scares me.
This is the guy that kidnapped a 9-year-old girl. Is that correct, Criptex?
Exactly. That is worse than the worst horror film ever made, man. Yeah. I mean, the Delphi case was terrible. It's a horrible tragedy, and I cannot compare tragedies, but at least the girls were together. There was like a ray of hope. At the end, they were together. Something, I know it's horrible, but there was like something beautiful there. They were together, the loyalty, Sure. But when you think about this girl, 9 years old, in a basement with this psycho, with a pit bull attacking her, Brian Chadwell choking her, and I cannot imagine that situation, man. Poor girl, seriously, freaking psycho. So
yeah, I mean, it's just it's undigestible, really.
It's horrible, man. So we know that I think that the prosecution, they have enough evidence to say that or to state that Chadwell was not a bridge guy or was not involved in the case. And my feeling is that maybe he was not fully investigated. They just check, let's say they checked his alibi. Oh, okay, this guy was not at Delphi at the day of the murders or something like that. So, okay, he's not the guy. Bye-bye. But what if, because remember that he had potential connections with the clients, especially with Keegan Klein, right? Mm-hmm. Chadwell and Klein and Keegan Klein, they were neighbors in Peru, in 2016, right? They had some interest in common, let's say. They went to the same barber shop. So there were a lot of rumors saying that maybe they met potentially by accident at that barber shop.
Peto's barber shop. Yeah, I heard of that.
Something like that. And both of them, they had pit bulls. Actually, James Brian Chadwell was breeding pit bulls for selling. So maybe there was some, I don't know, relation in terms of the pit bulls, in terms of the barbershop, etc. What if Chadwell, he has some information that connects Klein with the Delphi murders? What if they had some kind of conversation? What if he was an user of the Anthony Shot's account? I don't know, but we know that there's a potential connection between Chadwell and Keegan Klein. Remember that Keegan Klein said, I think it was in the interview with the murder sheet, that when the prosecutor, Nick, he interrogated him, at the end, he couldn't corroborate any information that Keegan was supplying to him. What if the defense has some evidence with Chadwell, via Chadwell, let's say, that corroborates that information that the prosecution was not able to corroborate? You know what I mean? So maybe there's something there. I don't know. What do you think about this?
Well, I mean, it's pure speculation. That sounds more well thought out than probably anything I could say. As far as why would why would all these characters now? I get the one guy that was he was cellmates in the county with Logan, is that correct? And Logan, was there for a suspended license kind of deal. Um
Yeah.
So, he's there to sort of say, hey, Ron Logan was, I mean, basically, if I'm not that I want to repeat it a bunch of times, but he's masturbating. He's saying things in the nighttime that are um that would indicate that maybe he knows something about the crime whilst doing so, as disgusting as that, is.
Yeah, but that was not Chadwell, the
No,
co-inmate.
I know.
That was, yeah.
I know. That's what the Chadwell thing actually, when you said, I mean, I recognize the name, but as far as being a defense witness, it probably throws me off more than any of the other ones because unless what you're saying is possibly true, where they had a previous relationship, either, you know, via social media, applications that would allow, more anonymous underage catfishing, if you will. It's possible as they were in that same ring of shit when you look at what Chadwell did as his crime. It's a crime involving a single digit age person in a sexual manner. It's just there's nothing lower or more, disgusting on the planet. So this is the kind of person that would certainly be involved in a double homicide of two, barely teenage girls. This is right up his alley. Now, where he was at that time and all this kind of stuff. Again, I don't know. It would just be all speculation. I think those kind of details would have been best served um, initially because we know a lot of stuff, a lot of social media stuff has been scrubbed, from the internet. And so I think we could be missing part of a picture based on lack of information that maybe was even there before, but people just didn't think to capture while it was there. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
maybe there is a connection, and maybe that connection I'm saying was more obvious initially.
Hmm.
But they didn't even cite Keegan Klein until what 20
Well,
2020.
He was arrested in 2020, but he was in the loop since the time of the murder, since 2017.
Right, and it's the
Keegan.
biggest again, and Keegan, I hate to say it, brings up a good point during the police interview, and that is, so you're telling me that it's the biggest investigation in the history of porn, but you waited 3 years to arrest me. Now, is that because they were just sort of watching him for 3 years, or is this one of those situations where law enforcement can stretch the truth a little bit to maybe try to scare whoever it is they're interviewing into basically dumping the beans on whatever they know? I don't know. I've always heard they don't have to be 100% honest with you in an interrogation, but they can't just outright lie about like main facts, like we saw you at the murder scene and you weren't there, and they're going to say it. Like they can't supposedly do that, but to stretch it and say, oh, it's turned into the biggest porn CSAM investigation in the history of the state. Is that a bit of embellishment on their part to maybe sort of coax Keegan into saying more? I don't know. What do you think about that?
I don't know. You have a good point. I was reading this comment from Junior Johnson. He says, if they have the evidence against Richard Allen, it doesn't matter what these guys say.
No, you got a
If
point.
if they have enough evidence, yes, but I don't know. You know what is my thinking in this case? I think that the clients are involved directly in the murders. It's my belief, and everyone has his own opinion, and I respect that. But let's say if Richard Allen was involved in the crimes, but he was not the killer, and let's say that the killer was speculating again, Tony Klein, and the defense is able to connect Tony Klein with the murders via Chadwell. So yeah, I think it's important what these guys are gonna say during the process. And Chadwell, he has nothing to lose. He was sentenced to 90 years in prison.
Right.
So he's not gonna be able to make a deal. The other guys, yes, but he's done. So
Right.
from all of them, if someone is not gonna tell a lie, to me, it's gonna be Chadwell, because he doesn't have anything to lose here. He's in prison forever, 90 years. He's done. So I don't know, man.
And, and as disgusting as the and not to move on, I'm not moving on from Chadwell, but just to as just sort of disturbing as that Ron Logan revelation, if true, is, I'm not sure that still even says he's a murderer. It might just mean he's a sexual pervert.
No.
I mean, they're not, in my opinion, I don't think they're necessarily one and the same. I don't think all sexual perverts are ravenous serial killers or murderers of children. I mean, I don't think it, I'm not trying to give them a break or anything, but I'm just saying I don't think all things are equal all the time.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with you. Thank you so much, Dan, for the super chat, man, and for the
thank you.
to subscribe. Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. So yeah, man, that's what I think about Chadwell. Again, to me, he's the scary guy here. He's really
Right.
It's a fucking psycho, man. What he did to that girl, and who knows, to other girls, man. He was very active in TikTok, so maybe he was part of the type of rings, man.
Criptex, let's just let me quickly say hi to a few people in the chat. I've been sort of kind of trying to pay better attention tonight. Of course, Boston Christian, always good to have you here. Kate, thanks for stopping by. Denise, Shane, of course, always making the good point. Shane, I agree with a couple of your assessments already tonight. I'm gonna see if I can find what Shane wrote earlier. Sorry about that. Curious Contrarian. I think you're a mod in Sleuth's channel now too. Is that correct? I think. Here we go. Yeah, Shane. Chadwell was heavily involved with online stuff, and so that Shane, you think there could be some kind of connection there, and I'm thinking that, I'm thinking that Keegan's pretty savvy on the online, situation as far as whatever that whole deal is, knowing how to game the system and get naked pictures from little kids or whatever he does instead of working a real job. But I, it still doesn't equate. Does that mean, he knows a lot? And what happened to the whole, should we talk about the wife Lilith thing? I mean, we did kind of get stood up. I mean, just so everyone knows, Criptex and I both tried repeatedly, right? If you don't mind my saying so, Criptex. I mean, I don't want to speak for Criptex. Actually, I speak fine for myself. I mean, it just sort of flaked out at some point, went from a go to a zero, and then all of a sudden just ill communicado. It's like, I don't know. She dropped off, like Tony Klein found out where she was at or something. I have no idea. So, but I'm sorry that we couldn't bring you that interview. I think it would have been insightful considering everything we do know about that timing of the river search. The again, $1 million river search brought on by a polygraph exam at Grissom Air Force Base. So taken right out of the state hands, put right into federal hands. As we know, Air Force bases are federal, unless you guys know something I don't. Now, I don't know if the county or the area polygraph expert being murdered in a house fire with the daughter had anything to do with the Grissom reasoning for taking him there, or if they wanted to separate him from the entirety of any county or state polygraph system and make it like federal, because Air Force bases are going to be set up with a skiff that has some pretty serious, probably examination rooms, interrogation rooms, things like that. I mean, they're having to vet, they're having to vet contractors with national security secrets. You can assume that whatever equipment they're using with Keegan would probably be a step above whatever some podunk ass community in Indiana's using. I don't know.
Yeah, no, good point. And another thing that makes me think that there is a potential connection between Chadwell and the clients, especially Keegan, is I repeat that often. Sorry to be that repetitive, guys, but it's something that I can see here. Remember that the case was called during almost 5 years. Nothing happened. Nothing. No cold case. At one point, the sequence of events that we know now started with Chadwell. So in 2021, in April 2021, Brian Chadwell was arrested, right?
Okay.
They say there's no connection with the Delphi case. The same year, in December 2021, there was the public, how can I say, press conference, or that video that the Indiana State Police officer published about Anthony Shots, when they went out in YouTube saying, we are looking for the creator of this account, Anthony Shots. So the case was called during 5 years. Then we have Chadwell in 2021 arrested. Months later, we have this statement from Indiana State Police. And right away, we have Richard Allen arrested. So it was like the situation was horizontal during 5 years, and then it was vertical. Then we have Chadwell, Anthony Shots, clients, and Richard Allen. So I don't know. I'm suspicious about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I've always said that this case will come down to small town connections. These people are from the area. And they're not only from the area. I mean, their families have been embedded in these areas for possibly nearly 200 years. I know that sounds, crazy, but that's about when the first pioneers and settlers started coming in. If you look at, for example, the McCain family, or the Mears, I mean, those people had purchased that property relatively from the time that it was basically divided up by the what would have been, I can't think what they call it, the land contract office or whatever, when they actually legally set up an area, and then they will take one section typically and set it aside for like public school funding, like whatever sells, in section 16 goes to fund ABC. But I still find it odd, I mean, I'm a conspiracy guy. I don't like conspiracies. Well, that's not true. I like them and don't like them. I mean, they make things interesting, but like, Sleuth said, that means somebody's getting away with something. If there's a conspiracy, they could be pretty bad. If you look at even JFK or RFK or any of those, I mean, there's never been any real resolution for any of that kind of shit, and those are, to me, like major conspiracies. What's about to come out, in our own government here soon concerning, non-human intelligence is been a conspiracy for, in my opinion, nearly 80 years, as we're living in a classified reality since 1943 at least. So when you're just not even told like the truth or how things are, and then you start listening to law enforcement like Doug Carter, and I don't want to give him too much shit. I understand he's the PR arm of the state police, but I mean, it just seems like one contradiction after another. I mean, you have one department saying there's, you can't see what's going on, out here in the periphery. You have another one going, that is one person, both voices are representing one person for sure, no question. And it's like each department is putting out their own junket of information. And at the end of the day, you're just left like saying like either everything's on the table or nothing's on the table. Like, I don't fucking get it, man. It's annoying.
Yeah, I agree.
Sorry about that.
No, you're right. Let me do a parenthesis here. Sub Rosa, yeah, she said that she likes you. She liked you last time.
Thank you so much.
She's been watching Justice Serve Daily since she appeared on Criptex channel. You have the best guests, my guy. Thank you, Sir Rosa.
Thank you very much. That's you know, that makes it worthwhile for me. I mean, I'm not doing this for money, that's for sure. I'm doing it because I need a creative outlet. I have a bit of passion about this case and other things also on my own show, and but I'm more of a variety show. You know, but at the same time, I have been literally obsessed with this case since the beginning. I mean, there's just something that remains. It's like looking at the cover of those old Nancy Drew or Hardy Boys books, you know, in the library, and it show like that set of stairs that was sort of creeping behind a bookshelf, you know, or some secret passage. So, and it would make you go, geez, what the hell is going on? You know, it's so, you know, mysterious. And then you see the video, and I believe it's that video that Libby recorded that sort of ties all that. I don't want to give it a light that makes it sound positive in any way or any sort of I don't know. I don't want it to sound wrong, you know, or disrespectful. So I mean, I trade all of that in 1 second to bring them back, you know, of course. But I guess what I'm saying is there are other cases also, not many, but again, the Oklahoma Girl Scout murders, that case is the same sort of deal. It's cold since the 70s. Very strange case. I mean, you're talking about shapeshifters and you know, this case brings everything the Oklahoma, you know, on top of terrible tragedy. It brings, you know, just like supernatural meets, you know, wow. And then you have these ones called the Ketty Cabin murders from the, I think, early 80s in Northern California, old logging country turned, you know, tourism turned basically low family income housing after tourism died, you know. And now as of 2 days ago, Criptex, I have a whole new obsession. Not obsession. Well, not obsession, but I mean some crazy news. And we're not going to go into this. It's not the show for it, but just quickly, I mean, and I'm thinking it's true. That the extra 6 seconds in the Patterson Gimlin film shows a young adult Bigfoot, and also two more in the woods, and it was a 3-day hunt, and it was actually a massacre that ended with a pile of skinned big feets, I guess.
We should do a live about that, man. Why not?
Well, I mean, look, again, I've never been a Bigfoot guy, but I have always been fascinated with the Patterson Gimlin film, which everyone probably would know if they saw it. I don't know if they get the reference by the name, but it's the one that came out in '67, very grainy, shows the Patty, the big mom type, you know, Bigfoot lady going up the canyon wash where a storm had sort of washed out this area in the canyon. And she's taking these steps and they're like 10 feet strides. I mean, they went back up there. And now they have an enhanced version. And apparently the original version that one of these rodeo clowns, and they were literally rodeo clowns. I'm not just calling them that because they were drunken assholes, and tracked down Big Feet and murdered them. But I guess it came off like a snuff film. I mean, they won't even show this thing. You know, it's like a Bigfoot snuff film. It's quite disgusting, you know.
Let's talk about that in another show, man. Let's come back to Delphi.
Sorry, everyone, I get a little sidetracked. I apologize. Yeah.
No problem, partner. Michelle Cox. Didn't Garrett Kurtz says there was a video? I think Ashley Garrett was involved. Do they have alibis? Yeah, you're right. And look, I wouldn't be surprised if Garrett Kurtz is gonna be called also by the defense. So? Man, every single day there's something new. I expect more things. As I said at the beginning of the live, the defense, they have some cards under the sleeves, man. They are sharks. They are sharks. Baldwin and Rossi, they are sharks. They have something. And look, I know that Richard Allen is gonna be convicted.
I think he's bridge guy.
Let's be realistic. He's gonna be convicted.
Right.
But with the pattern of Judge Gold denying everything that the defense is asking for sure there's gonna be an appeal. There's gonna be another trial, another process for Richard Allen, man. And the situation is not gonna end after this process. You know, we know very well that we have
I hadn't considered that before. I mean, you're saying that, but I hadn't considered that it wouldn't end after this process. I figured they find him guilty and and he'll probably appeal it and that'd be
No.
it. But you're saying it won't be over.
No, it's not. It's not gonna be over, in my opinion. And look, we know that there are two sections in this community. We have the pro prosecution. We have the pro Allen. And what I think is gonna happen at the end of this process, the pro prosecution guys, YouTubers, we know who are them. They already have the bottle of champagne ready to be opened, and they're gonna open it, and they're gonna drink. It's gonna be a big celebration, and I can understand that because they believe that Richard Allen is the only guy involved here. The Pro Allen group or the Pro Allen team, they're gonna tear out their hairs, but it's not gonna end there. There's gonna be an appeal. There's gonna be another process, and this is gonna. It's not gonna end here. It's gonna take a lot of time, man. I always do the comparison with the Stephen Avery process. It's something very similar, man. And I don't know. Let's see what's gonna happen.
Well, I mean, you're right because no one's ever. I mean, it's clear already that there are almost partisan divides on the guilt or innocence already without any evidence, as far as I know, being read into a court process in a trial in front of a jury. So I just don't understand. I get not wanting to hand over all this power to the state and just say, look, you guys are saying he's guilty. We're just going to let it go with that. But again, the other side feels a bit sycophantish, to me, and I'm not I don't have my nose so far up law enforcement's, ass that if they were doing something that I thought was uh obstructing the case themselves or interfering in some way. Now, of course, they're going to be good at hiding something like that, and I wouldn't be privy to that anyways. And I'm not saying that's not going on, but to just come out of the box without any of that, and then take the side of a guy who has confessed 61 times to doing this crime, also puts himself there at the time in the clothes on the day with the right height, the right weight, the right color, and the right schedule. I gotta think he's bridge guy. I just gotta fucking think he's bridge guy. I mean, I have a brain, but now the part that I don't know is what else is going on and what's part of the conspiracy, and then separate that from what may be just, say, post facto interference or before the crime, maybe some sort of run and cover for somebody, but then you're getting pretty deep into being part of the conspiracy when you're doing that. But so yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But let's talk about what are the other guys. Maybe we should talk about these guys if you know something, or maybe even chat. I do want to say hi to Aquarian One, Hiawatha, of course. I see a lot of good folks here tonight. Yaya Kelly. I mean, these are names. Molly. But what about these lesser known guys? Besides the Ron Logan masturbatory revelation. If that's all he's bringing to the table, I really don't think we need to discuss him. I mean, I know I've said it like 7 times now, but what about this other guy? Who is this this other actor that is in prison that is now a defense witness? Do you know?
So let's start by the one you were talking about, James Haas. So he was the one who was in prison with Ron Logan at the time. So they were together, and apparently or allegedly, Ron Logan confessed to him, or he told him that, as you said, that he masturbated on the bodies. So that's why I think
that's not what I had heard. I'm sorry. Oh, wow.
Yeah. So this guy, James Haas, one of the guys who was called by the defense, is the one who was with Ron Logan in prison, and that's why I think that's why he's here in this situation. So when you were talking about confessions, remember that Richard Allen is not the only one confessing here. So we have Keegan Klein. He confessed at the Grissom Air Force Base. We have Elvis Fields. We have allegedly Ron Logan. So there's a lot of confessions. I know that the confessions that Richard Allen made, they have more weight, let's say, because maybe they were recorded, or I don't know, but there's a lot of tentacles again, if we want to use that that word here. So that's one of the other guys here. So we have Chadwell. We talked about him. We have this guy, James Haas, who is gonna talk about Ron Logan, and we know that Ron Logan is a viable suspect because the girls were found at his property, because he looks like British guy. I think maybe Chadwell and Ron Logan, they look more like British guy than.
Well, that's like that's a real trigger. Apparently, the Ron Logan thing is a real trigger for a lot of people. I agree with you. I only in terms of, like, they say, well, this guy was too old and whatever to be able to be strong enough to do this. And didn't Ron Logan break horses until late in life? I mean, like a year or two before this crime. I mean, somebody that can break a horse can definitely, manhandle a child. So and especially somebody that is so familiar over 40 years, living in that same property, that would be so familiar with, basically you could close your eyes almost and just probably walk anywhere and know how to get there at that. I mean, that's how it is around my place. I've been here 24 years. I don't even need eyes, so. But I'm not saying anything about Ron Logan. I also think it is very possible. I don't, until they can come out with something. It's like, to say that his phone was near the bodies is too much of an obvious statement, considering that the bodies were on his property. So it's like, that doesn't do anything for me. Now, once I heard, they said they could get it down to 100 feet, but that's where I start not trusting authorities, because it seems like they just want to twist and bend shit, no matter what. And I just want to ask them, like, well, why don't you just take care of that marathon tape the way you should have? Don't worry about, trying to just take care of the shit that you can take care of, But no, we don't,
When you were talking about how old it was, Ron Logan at the time of the murders, I don't know if you saw, if you watched, I made a video about Pablo Escobar when I was in Colombia, and I was with my father there, and you can see my father. He's almost, I think he's already 80 years old, and man, if he punched me in the face, I'm dead. I'm not out. I'm dead. When I shake his hand,
puts you right to your knees if he wants, right?
Oh man, so
yeah,
I know old folks like that too. Yeah. Also, remember that we have Ron Logan lying about his alibi, the time of the murder. So there's a lot of things.
I do want to point out something. Junior Johnson in chat said Ron Logan wore glasses and was much bigger. In fact, it doesn't look like Bridge Guy in the video has on glasses. Also, I feel like they should be able to triangulate with today's modern technology the height based on a number of factors with Bridge Guy. I don't understand, unless Bridge Guy was never there in the first place and they added him on at NASA and Pixar Studios. I don't really understand why they wouldn't be able to easily get it right down to about the 1/4 inch, because I mean, they can pick up a golf ball on a Soviet golf course. They only got 2 golf courses there, but I mean, they can find whatever they want anywhere, and it just seems odd to me with the height difference between Ron Logan and Junior. I'm just bringing this up because that's bugged me too. And what they're saying, you know, you have the one underage female witness saying, not very tall, around my size. She's 5'6", maybe 5'7". You know,
Short guy.
obviously RA is you know, was the inspiration possibly for the Randy Newman song, Short People Have No Reason to Live. And you know, so I mean, this guy, I believe, if anything, I believe it's possible he heightened, you know, he might have heightened this Richard Allen, because to me, one thing that you could do to completely take yourself out of the loop of suspects would be a height differential, and then obviously like gender, but like but height more than weight or even color. Those are so much more subject to contrast, shadow, things like that. But height is height. Someone's either 6'2" or they're 5'4". Okay. Like you can't it's hard for me, especially when you have somebody like that standing next to a reference point. I don't know. Maybe I'm just going around in circles in my head, but do you understand what I'm getting at here? So Ron
No,
Logan is over 6 feet tall. You
yeah,
know.
totally. And I agree. When one of the
I'm not saying
witnesses
he's a great
said,
guy. I didn't fucking know Ron Logan. He might have been a real jerk for all I know, but that doesn't make him a killer.
exactly. So, and also we have the voice is kind of similar. I'm not saying it's a perfect match, but
Oh,
when we heard Ron Logan saying down the
sounds
hill,
like a gay cow. Ron Logan sounds like a gay cowboy when he says that. He goes, "Come on now, get on down that hill." What the?
he fake it.
It was so
He
fake.
fake. Yeah.
Get on down that hill now.
So maybe we can go to a couple of messages here, and we come back to the prisoners. Hiawatha, Criptex, I get what you're saying. First, Chadwell, then the statement of the Indiana State Police on YouTube. Maybe Chadwell gave them a tip. That's my feeling since the beginning. And I even made a video about the domino effect. Chadwell, Klein, Richard Allen, because I think there's some potential connection there, and I think Chadwell could be some kind of informant giving information about the client. I don't know. It's a possibility.
It is a possibility, and they didn't call Daniel Nations or Garrett Kurtz yet. And if they don't call them, it's not like they're calling the you know, the Fab Four of Delphi area, who are, I don't know if they all know Ron Logan. I don't know how many of these people, you know, but you live in the same place in a small town for 40 years on a farm with horses, and you kind of party a little bit. Yeah, you're gonna know everybody anyways. I can't hold that against Ron Logan. You know what I mean? So like, there's so many things that is a dynamic of a small town area that immediately looks suspect. But if you think about it, when you're talking about a lifetime of interaction, these things, I mean, I've stayed 2 weeks in a small ass town, and honestly, I saw the same people every single day. You know, it's true. It's true. You do.
Yeah.
So
right.
you can't just point that out either. But I do think that in areas that are it's a creepy area. It's like it's like a spooky, like haunted type feeling to me down there. I don't know. I don't even know if I believe in that, but it just feels weird. It just feels like some cultish sort of behavior, but that doesn't mean anything. I mean, we're just gonna have to go with the facts, whatever comes out. But again, if we think other things are gonna come out, or that they have, or if they have obstructed justice in their own right, I think we got to make sure we stand strong for Libby and Abby, and continue then to call out for justice. You know.
Right. We have also here
I believe that.
Hiawatha says, I still think Kurtz knows something. He says he doesn't remember that day, but that's another scary guy, man. It's like a Chadwell style. I wouldn't be surprised if he's involved in this situation, man. For real, he's a scary guy, and yeah.
A real bloodsucker. You know, I see Kurt's kind of like like a parasite almost, willing to suck off the host until the host doesn't have anything to offer, and then off with the head,
Right. Hello, Aquarian One.
Real loyal SOB, you know what I mean? Somebody wanting a foxhole with you. Right.
Right, man. Sleuth Intuition is here. Hi, Sleuth.
Sleuth.
Good to see you. I'm a little bit late with the chat. Sorry for that.
Good to see you, Sleuth.
So, Molly, everyone does have a right to appeal if convicted, unless they give that up as a part of a deal. So you can assume there will be an appeal. Will the appeal overturn the verdict or have a retrial? I don't know. Good point. I think there's going to be an appeal for sure. Is the defense is paving the field for that. They're doing their job. It's good.
I mean, if he's convicted outright of a murder like that, of course, what's the downside to appealing? Of course, he's going to appeal. I mean, but I think what Molly is saying is maybe is that something you could work out ahead of time, like on a plea deal, like I don't know the answer. That's the kind of like wonky legal wranglings that I don't really quite understand. So I don't know.
One thing I don't like at all is they're not gonna the judge is not gonna allow to have cameras to broadcast the process, but they're not gonna have even cameras to replay after, or not even how can you say radio recorders, and not even audio. It's so secretive, this thing.
No, I think it goes to the credit of this thing. I think that it forces something called journalism, and that's where you used to have actual humans interacting with the information coming out of the courtroom, and not just a camera that can be basically edited down to whatever soundbite you want to, sort of portray to the public. Now, when you actually have court reporters in that courtroom, and believe me, they're going to be there. The best of the best should be there. This should be a big trial. They're going to be able to break down in a way that just us sitting around, in my opinion, merely watching the, the verbatim sort of process going on, they're going to be able to boil that down in a way that's going to be succinct. It's going to be bullet pointed at the end of every day, like giving us a report. And then you get the cool, artwork on top of it. So I don't see how it's a loss. I bet the families don't want cameras in the courtroom, and I want whatever the families want. If they want that, then I want them to have it. I don't care whatever the families think. In terms of that, I feel like the victims' families should be the one. I know that Gall's the judge. She makes the call, whatever. But I mean, it's like abortion. I don't feel like it's up to me. Like it's out of my hands. Like.
But it's out of our hands for sure. But I think
not my business. More than that, it's not my business.
Yeah. Sorry, here we have a comment here from Amelia. I just want to send well wishes and prayers to wife Lilith, since she was mentioned. I don't know what you're talking about, Amelia. Do you know the farm or something like that?
No, I have no idea. Other than, I mean, I didn't mean to lightly say, if in case like TK. Look, I hope she's fine. I mean, I guess she hasn't been around or having much of an online presence. I hope she's not ill. I hope that her everything is okay, whatever that means. That'd be weird, but yeah, that'd be a little bit too much for me if something happened to her. But it is weird she's not around. What do you make of it? I mean, I guess it's just speculation. I don't even know why I care, but seems like she was always like so forthright about putting forward her sort of I don't want to say agenda, but just her opinion of the things that went on, and then boom, radio silence. I don't know. She got
I don't know.
She got Richard Doty,
Aquarian One, thank you for the super chat. Thank you so much. Very generous. Thank you. We have here Shane. Ron was fitter than I am now. It's not that. Top said the man was covered. He's on CCTV for half the day. In my opinion, he's cleared. Yeah, it's unlikely that Logan was the killer, but
Yeah, I don't think he did anything. I just don't want it to. I don't like it when people give the wrong excuse for somebody not doing something. Him being old does not, with me, equate to somebody that just because of that. And you're talking about somebody that was in the military, somebody that broke horses, somebody that ran a 40-acre farm. He may have been up there in age. He wasn't 107 for God's sakes. And those guys are a tougher generation than I am. That's for sure. Again, these guys have larger hands from working farm equipment, So to just write him off as not being able to do it based on his age, I believe is a ageist concept in itself is all I mean, but I don't have any sense that I don't besides Richard Allen, I don't have any sense that anyone else is well, I'll say involved. Besides the Kleins and now Chadwell, you got everyone else is involved. Everybody did it. I don't know what it's like, where do you go with it? But I do still think, and you bring up a good point with Chadwell. What is his angle? Why is he there? What does he bring to the table?
I think my hypothesis is that there's a connection between Chadwell and Klein. So let's see.
I don't know. That would be news. That would be news, I think, right? Would it not be news? Maybe it wouldn't be news for this case. I don't know if neither one of them are connected to Delphi. Then how is that? I guess I would ask if Chadwell's connected to Klein, but Klein's not connected to Delphi, then how does any of it matter for Delphi?
But Klein is connected to Delphi. Just for the Anthony Shots account is connected.
Okay, we know that.
Just by that, there's a connection there.
Well, he's even connected to the girl. That doesn't mean he's connected to any murder.
Yeah, I agree with you. Let's see. Curious, contrarian Dan. Ron Logan was my favorite theory and DP. I just had no idea there was ever a DP theory until I met Skip recently. By the way, Dan was the one who put me in contact with Skip. We had Skip here during two shows.
Skip's okay, right? He didn't have a meltdown or something weird or end up with a hatchet out in Colorado, on a hiking trail or anything, right?
I don't know, man. I didn't
hope not. Jesus. Skip, you okay? Call in, Skip.
I had to send him a message. But talking about guests, you don't know who's going to be here, man, soon. Everybody is going to be, I cannot say it, but it's, oh, man. You're going to be so happy, guys.
It's Nancy Grace. I know that now.
No,
it's unbelievable. Oh, no.
I no idea. I want to say it, but I'm going to keep the mystery.
You're not supposed to yet, but you can email me.
Awesome guest here. Everybody's going to be happy, man.
And now let me ask you this. Is this a guest that is notable on YouTube or notable outside of YouTube?
In YouTube.
Okay. Well, that's, still exciting.
Yeah. Shane, BG is not way over 6 feet tall. I'm saying what everyone else is here. Hiawatha is a little bit mad with Snoot because he was not speaking to her.
And I don't think that bridge guy's gate, to me, and I know they say this and that with the bridge and the missing planks, but it wasn't like Ron Logan's gate. I saw Ron Logan walking around. Ron Logan was just a much larger, feeling sort of guy, not oafish by any means, but just a broad-shouldered dude, And you look at the guy walking on the bridge, and he has that sort of that hands in pocket, literally. And you know how almost one knee kind of folds in almost in front of the other one, almost like he wanted to be a model or something, but maybe one knee is screwed up, I don't know. But he doesn't walk like a big macho guy, to me, Ron Logan does. So I just don't see Ron Logan being there. I do see how if you were trying to plan out the perfect murder, you might dress like Ron Logan, but I'm crazy.
You're going to have problems with the moderators here, Farmer. Stop saying things about gays, man. Some people could be susceptible.
About who?
Gays.
Gay. Oh.
Gay stuff.
No, I didn't say gay. I said, I'm sorry, gate. Gaite.
Gate. Sorry for that.
No, not at all. And also, I am gay, so
Ah, okay.
I should be able to say whatever I want about myself.
I
But
didn't know that, man.
a second, no,
Okay, that's good.
I didn't say gay.
Perfect.
Anyways, gay's a weak word. I would have said like homo or something like that. Yeah.
Okay, no, because we were talking about Ron Logan before. He was
I'm
using
sorry.
like a gay voice or something like that. I
Oh no, well no, I've always said that. To me, when I listen to that clip, it's so ridiculous that put on that he does, you know. But I get what you're saying. No, gait. No, I meant the way that he's walking, the literal, I don't know how to technically explain what a gait is.
no,
I
I
mean,
understand
okay.
the way he
I'm
walks,
not sure
but
I understand.
I don't know if we can make
I mean,
any
why not?
conclusion about that because there are a couple of frames, so I'm not sure that was the way he was walking. It's one frame cut, another frame. It's I don't know if it's actually the way he walked. I don't know, man.
Man, that guy walking on the bridge to me looks wimpy. Ron Logan does not look wimpy to me. He still look like you said, look like 70 years old, still kick your ass if he wanted.
And in my opinion, I think Richard Allen is Bridge guy.
I
I
do
don't know
too.
if he's the killer or not, but
Yeah, of
I
course.
to me, Richard Allen doesn't look like BG at all.
Look,
Uh, People make the connection now because we have like some kind of evidence that he was there, and but if tomorrow law enforcement finds some evidence against Farmer, oh, Farmer is a Bridge guy. Everybody,
well,
Farmer is exactly like Bridge guy, and they're gonna put you side by side with Bridge guy. Oh, it's perfect. It's him. It's you. You know.
you should.
Yeah. Oh man.
I
Anyway.
mean, I don't mean me personally. I'm not saying you should. I'm saying that if new information comes forward, hopefully they don't get into this mindset where they're so stuck one way because we don't know then what's going to come out of 4 surprise witnesses and how long can they have these surprise witnesses popping up? What is the typical time? I have no idea. Does anyone know? Can they just, sort of do it for as long as they want? Just right like the day before the trial, pull like, a Tony Klein out or something? I mean, who knows?
Yeah. Who knows?
I'm asking. I don't have any idea about the league. I mean, aren't they obligated as soon as they learn of the information to pass that on?
Yeah. Let's wait for the guys here. Shane is talking about the timeline regarding Ron Logan. According to him, based on the timeline, it's unlikely that he's fitting in the murders. I agree. Maybe he was not the killer, but my point is he could be like a witness. He could have some type of information. Maybe he could even observe the girls at what point when he was at his property. And because we know that his phone was pinging at the time. We know also that based on the allegedly confession he made to the co-inmate James Haas, he masturbated into the to the girl. It's hard to me to talk about that, but
No,
I'm not saying that
some people.
Ron Logan was the killer, but maybe he had some type of information. He was like a witness. I don't know.
The thing
There's
is,
a lot of
how do you trust another guy in prison? Like, what kind of credibility do they have? Is this just a mere ruse, basically, by the defense as they're trying to throw every piece of spaghetti and pancake at the wall to get something to, finally stick? Or is there some validity to it based on what Judge Gall has already sort of stricken down in terms of what's going to be relevant in the courtroom? We already know that on that, whatever that L word is that everyone says. I don't know, lemonine,
yeah.
whatever.
The validity
No,
could apply to three of those guys, to Keegan Klein, to James Haas, and to Ricky Davis.
who's
But
Ricky
to me,
Davis?
it's not applicable to Chadwell because, as I said,
Right,
Chadwell is done. So he
you're
doesn't
right.
have anything to win. He's not gonna say something to have sentence or reduction or something like that. So I think if Chadwell says something, gives some information, that may be true.
I
Is my
like your
opinion.
prediction. I kind of like the way you're going on this. I really do, because now that I do let it kind of marinate, you know, in my head a little bit, um you're right. Like, if he's already there 90 years for doing this incredibly horrific crime, there's no chance probably he's getting out, you know, early, whatever. I mean, what is the purpose of bringing a guy like that in unless he has relevant information that maybe, like, things that have not been reported by, say, amateur web sleuths or even news agencies? Excuse me. You know what I mean? So I think and then when you look at the other two, now I don't know Ricky Davis, so I don't know what he brings to the table or who he knew. I'm hoping you're going to tell me now. The prison, Ron Logan's friend there, you know, all that may have his own motivation, in my opinion, for saying whatever and stuff. But when you point out this Chadwell thing, I wonder what does that bring? What does it bring? You know? It's an interesting point, really. It is, Criptex, and you know, you heard it here first.
Thanks, man. If we go to the other inmate,
It's not my fault.
Your phone speaking. Okay. If we go to the other guy who is Ricky Davis.
Okay.
That's a black box to me. I don't have any information about him. Apparently, in Facebook, he posts stuff like Aryan Brotherhoods and stuff like that. So to me, there are two options: or he is tied to the Odinist guys, to Patrick Westphal and Brad Holder, but just pure speculation based on those, because he's part of the Aryan Brotherhood, or drug related. He was involved in methamphetamines, something like that. So when we talk about Garrett Kurtz, remember there's some rumors about drugs, meth.
Oh, so, yeah, for sure.
That could be the
I think
the
it's
link to Garrett Kurtz.
I don't know. Admitted. I feel like Garrett Kurtz flat out said, I was on all these drugs, and I don't even remember going to work that day, I thought, is what he said, actually, which was kind of weird. I don't know why everyone has a problem remembering what they did that day. It's like, there's got to be something more going on, man. It cannot just be one guy. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I can't buy it.
Don't be sorry, man.
Man, it's just too much for me to believe that there's not some kind of plan or some kind of, I don't know. But I will believe whatever the outcome is, if it's obviously not some BS. I mean, if they go through a whole trial, everyone says they want him to plea. To me, that seems bad, because to me, having this trial will stretch out that information and hopefully drag out as many details. Now, maybe the family doesn't want that. Maybe they already feel they know enough details. I guess I would want whatever the family wanted ultimately in that situation, but I don't know. I mean, I'd kind of want to know Libby and Abby's opinion too, I suppose. You know, I mean, I feel like if people are going to get away with shit, and that if people knew things ahead of time, now clearly somebody knew something. When you look at the 4chan post from 2 years before Ricky was arrested, and it says everyone knows Ricky was involved. You know, so to just sit around and act like in the background, there was not some knowledge of shenanigans on whatever level. I think that's disingenuous also. And I don't know, you know, I don't feel like a conspiracy guy saying that. Really, I don't.
No, not at all, man. The funny comment from Shane here. They are not gay bashing. He said gate. Lost in translation with Criptex. It's not gonna be the first. Yeah.
I mean, I need a new grill. So, my words sometimes they're not enunciated, if you will, the same way that they were just a short time ago before one of them got knocked out. And they're like dominoes. Teeth are like dominoes. One gets knocked out, the other ones want to go. They don't like it.
It's not the first time it happened here. The other time I was with HCC, Hoosier Cold Cases, and
Yeah.
I asked something, and he answered another total different thing. So yeah, lost in.
Oh yeah, well that guy's probably actually a homophobe though. I'm Derek, you know, I'm already gay. Sorry, I'm just kidding, HCC.
No,
I'm inflammatory. That's my gig.
Yeah, no. So it's part of the charm of this channel. We're gonna be lost in translation sometimes.
Oh yeah, I'm fine with that. I never get offended. About anything like that ever.
Yeah.
Well, unless someone's trying to hurt my feelings, and then, like I said, you just open yourself up to getting your own, feelings sort of hurt back.
The clients, Logan, and others were excluded. There must be a door opened within the trail. I don't know, man. You know what I feel about the clients, so. And again, I think that the defense, they have something under the sleeve.
I think you make another good point earlier by saying, well, I mean, if we're going to take Richard Allen's confessions and take those seriously, and I do, 61 confessions, if there are details in there that weren't known to the public, especially if they're recorded with those details, that's going to be damning information, bullet aside. Now, with that being said, though, I mean, I sort of lost my train of thought already, but it just seems to me that Keegan Kline, oh, you said it earlier. I mean, Keegan Kline confessed to being there and having knowledge of the crime. Why are we not affording him the same, sort of credibility that we're giving Richard Allen? Is it because Richard Allen held a, management position at a well-known retail chain? Maybe. But the fact is, Keegan Kline did confess in a way. He did confess by saying, okay, I didn't take part in the actual event, but I basically helped them clean it up, right? So that's that post facto thing. Whatever, you have knowledge post fact, that's definitely a felony, but it may not indicate, culpability, like in terms of pre-planning or premeditation on his part. Sorry, I have a little dog jumping on my lap right now if I'm making weird little faces, but I think it's a good point to bring up that if we're going to give one validity, why not give the other one validity as well? And Keegan Kline did confess to being a part of these crimes.
And
end of sentence. End of sentence.
And a lot of confessions made by Richard Allen were made to other prisoners. So the validity and the credibility thing is again in the table.
Yeah.
And again, you were talking about the confession of Keegan Kline, and I know I'm very repetitive, but it's something I cannot help myself. Again, the prosecution, they said there's evidence that the Red Jeep story was fake, that Keegan Kline was lying about the involvement of himself and his father in the crimes. And then they go to the expedition of the Wabash River search, which was confirmed to be a direct consequence of the interrogation of Keegan Kline. So if they know that he's lying, that everything is fake, why are they going to do that search? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up at all.
Yeah. You're literally talking about thousands of hours with that whole team put together for 5 weeks plus. A couple thousand hours of why would you go through that if there weren't at least some aspects of that polygraph test at Grissom and that interrogation, probably in a skip, by some serious interrogators, probably, I'm guessing. It's a guess. But I mean, why would you go forward with something like that if there was? So I hope this is the kind of stuff that if Richard Allen, please, I feel like this would be the kind of information then that doesn't end up coming out. But I feel like if it gets dragged out in trial, maybe we will find this stuff out. I don't know. What do you think about that? Would you rather see him plea, or would you rather see a full-on trial where all of whatever you can kind of pull out of it, you can? And then also I'll ask chat, if you guys know who this black box, I guess, that Criptex has locked away this fourth mysterious person in. We don't know who it is. If anyone has any inkling of who that is and would like to put it in chat, I'd certainly like to know. So,
Yeah, Ricky Davis. No idea, man.
Junior, thanks for joining us. I really appreciate it.
He's driving to Delphi. I guess he's going to attend the process there. Most probably. I don't know. Or he lives there. I don't know. But yeah, thank you for being here tonight.
Be careful over there, man. You know, things happen in the Delphi, the dirty Delphi triangle.
Yeah, exactly.
Hiawatha, why are you trying to make me like crack up? Come on.
Well, I don't understand. Explain to me.
No, Hiawatha. Oh, you see Hiawatha's comment. Maybe a sleuth. No, she just cracked me up.
Inside joke.
I guess so. I mean, maybe it's sleuth. What? I mean, I wish. Well, one, I wish I could have been there tomorrow. I guess there's this walk is going on for Libby and Abby. Should we plug that in Delphi? Correct. They are going to have a walk on the bridge tomorrow. I thought, if anyone knows about it. I mean, I'd like to get a plug out there for that if they are doing that. But I'll wait for confirmation before I say for sure, because I guess I really don't know. But I sure would like to go down there sometime and just meet folks and attend something like that, and maybe avoid the Odin potluck, you know, where you can't really trust a potato salad, you know, and meet up with you guys and like, whatever. I just think it'd be super. I don't see why after all this time, I mean, it has to remain, I'm not nervous to meet anybody out there ever. And as soon as I have the means to do it, which will be hopefully very soon, I'm getting down there. I want to see the bridge. I want to feel the ground of Deer Creek Valley underneath my feet. I want to look for the cave. Okay, here we go. You want some conspiracy, SH?
Maybe we can go together, Farmer.
Oh, that'd be awesome, man. I would love that. But yeah, I mean, I got the map. It has the word cave on it. It's from the 1800s. I mean, I have the map.
Sure. So I understood the comments from Hiawatha. So he was asking for she was asking for the guest I'm gonna have soon, and no, it's not Slooters. Oh man, I become excited with that.
I thought
it's gonna be something. You're gonna love it, guys.
It sounds big, man. I don't know.
It's big to me. Maybe I'm just so passionate about something.
You, I mean, it's gonna be somebody we recognize. I feel like we're gonna recognize this person.
Yeah, man.
Let's just throw out a few names here, so it's not Sleuth. All right, sorry, man. Now you got us thinking about it again. Let's see. Could be Kristen, maybe not Kristen. Mr. Steve was already on. I feel like I don't know if that'd be groundbreaking at this point. I mean, I don't think you're having like Barbara McDonald on. I mean, that'd be pretty sweet. I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe somebody from Delphi. Give me a wink if it's somebody from like the area. Is it gonna be like a Greeno type?
No.
Okay.
Let's keep the mystery a little bit.
When do we get to find out who it is? Like, how long do you think why do we have to wait so long?
Let's wait. I don't want to screw the.
You don't want to screw it up. You don't want to jinx it. Speaking of jinx, is it jinxed? Oh, damn.
No.
There's a lot of talented people, I think, on YouTube, and I don't throw that out there lightly. I think there's some really good broadcasters in terms of people that could probably make a crossover. I don't put myself in that category, but I mean into something a little more professional. I really do. I think it's fun, and I don't mean just YouTube. I kind of wish, honestly, at this point, you guys, that there were more options for something that had this viability that this YouTube sort of community has, that maybe was a little less constraining in terms of just their standards or willingness to demonetize people so quickly and things like that.
Yeah, man. I don't know what else to talk about. I think we talk about the four guys who are gonna be called by the defense. I don't even know if that's gonna be allowed by the judge.
What do you mean you don't know if it's going to be allowed by the judge? I mean, they called them. I don't see. That's what I don't understand, because I thought the judge. Hey, Anthony, I thought the judge already said, you can't have TK and KK if it's not relevant to the case, and so are his attorneys asserting then that there's that nexus? I learned that on Sleuth Show. That nexus moment where they, hiya, crossed channels and actually got involved in the case.
Yeah, man. Farmer, what's the name of that movie with forgot his name. Oh man, Nicolas Cage in a plane. There's a plane full of prisoners.
Oh yeah.
What's the name? Remember that?
I mean, Nicolas Cage has been in over 3,000 movies, I think. Maybe not. But I do remember it because I do find most of his movies.
Yeah, Con Air.
Of course, yeah. That's a '90s thing, yeah. More parts of Scott Jr., yeah.
Yeah, the movie is Con Air. Thank you guys here in the chat. I imagine that plane with Keegan Kline, Chadwell, Haas, and Ricky Davis. Something like that, man. Being transported
like that with a bus also.
Yeah.
Like and they break out. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, the Delphi wrecking crew. Basically, I mean, these are people that have been convicted of some very intensely violent, disgusting crimes, in my opinion. And I don't know, man. And to say that it's no way could any of them be related, and I'm going to keep my eye on this Chadwell thing, honestly, because Criptex, I think out of everything that I learned tonight, I think thinking about it that way, again, besides corroborating something very serious that the media doesn't know and that we all don't know, that Chadwell possibly could do, wrapped up in a circle of shit like that. Excuse my language tonight. I've had a rough day. I think something like that is more plausible than having them there for tea.
Yeah, interesting point. Now, maybe if someone wants to call, yeah, Danny's gonna call. Yeah, sure, man. It's gonna be cool if you can call. I just dropped the link, Dan. Cool. We're gonna have Dan here. Maybe he has some information about.
That would be great.
We were asking here. So.
Oh yeah, because look, I'm not that well researched, honestly. I have a lot of opinions, I guess, but at the end of the day, I have no conviction in official, accounts of this case, because until that comes out in court, I mean, to me, it's all speculation, and that's all we do anyways. But I think that going over this stuff over and over and over. Look, I don't hop around to a lot of other cases, Criptex. I don't know if you spend time. I just don't. I have other interests, and that's not anything against people that are more into true crime than I am. It's pretty much this case, I mean, it's this case. I don't know what's going to happen after it's done, but I mean, I don't care. I want there to be resolution as quickly as possible. But I mean, I don't know. There are other cases out there. That Evansville case, I'll tell you, that's just got as many players probably, and some odd stuff too. So I don't need it to be odd. I mean, I don't even need a case to be odd. I mean, I do see a lot of cases when Sleuths does True Crime in the Morning, which will be something other than Delphi, and I watch most of those, and they're incredibly sad. They're not enigmatic at all. They're just flat out terrible. And that's really the real reality of life. I mean, there really shouldn't be anything that feels too mysterious about two teenage, girls being, murdered, other than justice for them. So selfishly, I mean, I do feel a little guilty for sort of picking and choosing what cases I like, I guess is all I want to
Do
say.
you guys hear me?
Yeah, we have a Beer Joe. Is you done?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah. How so? You have a new avatar?
What's that?
Do you have a new avatar?
Do I have any other what?
Do you have a new avatar?
Your
Oh
avatar.
yeah. I was working on changing it. I made it as a joke for yeah, I have an alter ego I run around with. The old bear Jew.
Oh, the old bear Jew. That's a fun little campfire song there. Sit around and
Yeah,
it's the
you
old
guys
bear
have seen
Jew.
was it
Cool, man.
Inglorious Bastards, the Quentin Tarantino movie?
Oh
Thank
yeah,
you.
it's a good movie.
Thank you for calling, Dan.
How you guys
I always
doing?
feel like though Quentin Tarantino movies, as good as they can be, you can almost hear Quentin Tarantino saying every single line of the dialogue just through the other actors. It kind of maybe some people think that's charming. It kind of gets me after a bit.
Yeah. Dan.
Yeah.
Do you have any information about Holly? About
No,
White Lily?
I mean I don't think that crew likes me all that much, but I was gonna ask around and make sure she was okay. I hadn't heard anything.
Okay, that's weird. And we were talking about the prisoners with Farmer that were called by the defense. Is
Hey,
that something that is going to be
excuse
allowed
me.
by the judge, or we don't know yet?
It seems like I put that comment in about them being excluded. I think they agreed upon that at that 3-day hearing, but I don't know what they're planning. They may. I didn't see Chadwell getting. I don't remember if Chadwell was excluded. I know there's a conflict of interest with, is it Ron Logan or Kagan Klein? One of the two. Rosie's law firm represented one of them. So
Yeah.
one of them they're probably not even going to be able to bring up at all. I just don't remember which one at the moment.
What's your hypothesis here?
Sorry about that, you guys. I had a dog.
I've talked about this last night with some people. I have no idea. I section adding that they were people of interest and what they were asking them and things in that nature. Oh, please tell me to switch my audio.
Your sound is not very good, Dan.
Yeah, just 1 second.
I will let you with Farmer. Just 1 second. I'm going to the kitchen. I'm coming back.
All right, can you hear me?
I'm not hearing you very well. Sorry about that. I had some company and a crazy dog. Oh, I guess I'm by myself now. Okay. How's it going, everybody?
There we
I'm
go.
gonna read a few comments, I guess.
Sorry about that.
What was the guy's name who was locked up with Logan? That was well, I don't know. Criptex knows.
James Haas.
James Haas, yeah, right. James Haas. I don't know these people. I don't know any of the main players besides Fine and this Chadwell creep, who I think might be the whole reason. Maybe that the only one with real validity. I think because I don't know how you believe a guy that's already in jail with Ron Logan saying he said this stuff in the night or something. I don't know. It just seems sketchy.
Dan, you have an echo, man.
And also, Ron Logan's dead, and it's like, so how do you even? It's like you can't even, sort of flesh that out at all. It just doesn't even go anywhere. I don't even know if they allow that guy to come in at all whatsoever. I bet Gall strikes him.
Yeah, I don't know, man. So according to Dan, it seems that the defense is gonna be allowed to present these guys. So to me, that's good news, man. I don't know if the juror is gonna be allowed to listen to these guys, because I heard that it could be something that it would be not in the presence of the jury. So I don't know how is that gonna work.
I guess.
Are you getting a bunch of background noise from my
Yeah.
headset?
Yeah,
That's
so I'm getting
weird.
some feedback from somewhere. I don't know. I don't think
It's
that's
probably me.
I was sounding good pretty much. I think the whole night. No one said. But then again, I might have screwed something up too.
No, you sound great. The little pop filter on my headset fell off.
Oh, there you go. You sound
I
good
don't
now.
know if it's picking up a bunch of other stuff in the background. Sorry about that, guys.
No, you're not echoing anymore.
Okay, it kept Bluetooth into my truck, and I had to delete it.
Yeah, that's why. I won't go with a wireless. I have to have everything hardwired, which is why I'm always tripping over everything and falling.
Oh, I wish. I'm at work.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
then we got what 5 days? Thursday supposedly. Then
Dan, sorry guys, Dan.
Yeah.
Maybe you can try going out and coming in again,
Yes, we'll do.
just to see if it's gonna work.
Sounds like maybe he's changing a tire or something. I don't know.
No, just 1 second. I think it's because that pop filter is not on. You're picking up everything I'm banging around on outside of this thing. I'll mute it.
Yeah, I need a filter too. Actually, I just put an old sock over mine.
Hey, what I said, Dan, mute your mic while you're working. Anyways.
Dan's running a press somewhere in Ohio.
No, just driving a truck.
I think you got it, man. Now it's much better.
No, you sound good now. Yeah.
So you were saying, Dan, that you were talking about this yesterday in your channel, right?
I was talking about what?
About the prisoners.
Oh, yes. What was your specific question?
No, I was interested in your hypothesis about what do you think about that? What's the strategy of the defense here?
Oh, I don't know. That's the one thing I was trying. I think it might be a surprise for everybody because it seems like that throw crap at the wall at this point, see what sticks. I think their biggest strategy is going to try to be to get the Odinist thing in, and I think they will get it in. People think that it's not going to come in. It's excluded right now, but I think it's definitely going to end up coming in because they're going to have the FBI people testifying.
They did
All they have to do
reintroduce that, so Awesome.
I mean, all they have to do is somebody mentions something like, "What was your initial?" Get an FBI person on the stand, and what was your initial impression of it? Blah blah blah. Now somebody mentions that word, and then you're on the track to getting it right in there. I think that's where that's at. Not sure how well it's going to work. The judge doesn't seem to be keen on letting it in at all.
I mean, I make zero predictions in this case or any case because until the trial's actually going on, the facts just aren't known. That's sort of the whole point. I mean, so I don't make an actual prediction. I just want the truth to come out, and that's about it. I think I don't know how beneficial it is for anyone to go to the crime scene. I don't know how you guys feel about that. Yeah.
Dan, the sound is off.
I don't know what's going on. It's not me.
Something not working well.
I just have to mute it when I'm not talking until I go find that little filter in my truck.
I don't know. I don't know. It's crazy. It's like it's like
it's like you are under the basement.
The thing is, I'm used to working in such noisy restaurants that I actually didn't even really notice it. I was just talking anyways.
I was standing outside with a light breeze, and that's the difference between the pop filter and not having it on.
It's storming pretty good here again. Yeah, it's a lot of lightning and a lot of wind and stuff like that, which I like. It's nice. It's been very dry around here, so we needed rain.
Yeah. What about the selection of the jurors? I think it's gonna happen on Monday, right?
I mean, I hope so, considering that
Yes,
Thursday
no
the
idea.
trial is supposed to start.
I think they
Yeah, that's
allotted
gonna be
3 days
interesting.
for jury selection.
3 days.
It starts Monday. That was
That's
the
gonna
initial
be.
one at the last when it was scheduled for 2 or 3 weeks total.
Yeah, there's a question here from Anthony France. Will the defense want more men than women on that jury?
That is a
Good
great
point.
question, Anthony, by the way.
Yeah.
That is a good question.
I think so. I don't know. What do you think, Farmer?
I mean, if I had to say so, I would say no. I would want more women than men because women are more, I think, detail oriented, and they're gonna want someone to really sort of pick this apart like buttered popcorn, you know? And in my opinion, I don't know anything though. It's just an opinion. It's just what came to my mind first. I mean, I don't know what advantage really. I don't know what advantage any of that has. I mean, to me, it wouldn't matter if I was on a jury. I would just want to be judging it by the facts, regardless of what my gender is. Like, I don't feel like that really would play in, but I think that it does play in somehow at the same time. When you're talking about more of one than the other, how it does, I have no idea.
What about you, Dan? What do you think?
About what? Oh, damn! Sorry.
I'm not sure in this area. I think I talked to Travis and Michael Osbrook a lot about it, and I think they're gonna want like older, higher educated women, probably like middle-aged, higher degree, things like that, or young college students. As Travis was saying, middle-aged guys, because someone that may have been false accused of something. And I said, in Indiana, you find a middle-aged guy, they're just gonna want to throw the guy in jail for murdering 2 girls. They're not gonna want to listen too much, just from being around the area, because Allen County's the jury pool, and I'm from 30 minutes from there.
I mean,
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm sure there are entire strategies based around these kind of cases that quickly look up to see. But I mean, I'm sure there is one in terms of even beyond gender, racial. I mean, in Indiana, they're probably going to be drawing from pretty much one racial pool. But I mean, unless they're in Indianapolis, but they're not. They're pulling from Fort Wayne. Is that right?
It's a lot more. It's a lot more diverse in Fort Wayne than Delphi.
That's true. That's true. And South Bend also.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, Delphi is literally like the Amish versus like electricity. Like it's that different, probably. I've never been to Delphi. I only base that on my own communities around me right here in Michigan, which is very similar, in my opinion, to that area.
There's a good comment here from Shane. Those jurors don't know how much their lives are gonna change.
Well,
It's a good point, man. Great point. And I don't know if they're gonna be anonymous or not.
I don't know how that works. I mean, if they're not going to be on television, but they're also not sequestered, as far as are they sequestered? Does anyone know? They are. Oh,
Yes.
well then no, we won't. I don't believe that we will know.
I think when they're sequestered, they're anonymous.
I don't think we would then, just by nature of sequestration, know who they are. Yeah, not maybe at the end or something.
Exactly.
Maybe.
After my point is after the process.
Well, yeah, probably. Yeah, I mean, it's usually public information, as far as I know. So I mean,
sealed for a lot of them. It's up to a year or something afterwards, unless that one of them wants to talk. I think that's how a lot of them go.
Because regardless of the result of the verdict, people are gonna be angry with the jurors. If they say Richard Allen is guilty, there's a section of this crazy community that is gonna be angry, and it's gonna be the same if the verdict is the opposite. I wouldn't want to be in the shoes of those jurors, man. Poor guys, for real. They're gonna be harassed. I can see that. My prediction.
I think there'll be threats and all kinds. You'll have people out there trying to take pictures of them. I think that's scary.
I mean, Sub Rosa brings up a good point too. You know, it's not as if after the trial they haven't signed a non-disclosure, agreement. They can speak to the media, I'm sure, as American citizens if they so wish, using their First Amendment rights.
Yeah, good point. So, don't know, guys. I think it's time to say goodbye. Or I don't know if
Yeah.
you have any other point to add.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Sorry about the audio issue, Criptex and
Uh,
Farmer.
no problem, man. Next
No
time
problem.
I'm gonna be in your show with an awful audio, and we're gonna be even Steven.
I have it. Like I feel like I don't know enough about a couple of these characters to provide any sort of honest assessment, other than just gathering the information that you guys are talking about and making a whatever farmery sort of analysis I can make live on YouTube. That's sort of what I do anyways. I mean, it's the idea of an interview show. It's not as if I have any deep knowledge of any of these things. Pizza delivery, ping pong, these are things I know.
No, you had great questions and great points here tonight, Farmer, as usual. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
It was great to have you here.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here. And to see
It was not
everybody
so
else.
great. It was not so great to have Dan because of his audio. I'm just kidding, Dan.
Oh,
It's the same headset I always use too. That's the kicker of it.
I don't feel like we were like on the verge of letting out some breaking news or anything that got interrupted. So I don't feel too bad about it at all, actually. It's fine with me, Dan.
Yeah,
But beyond that, thanks for even putting in time out of your own lives to listen to me blabber on for 90 minutes. It was absolutely a pleasure. I always enjoy coming on Criptex show. Criptex is an out of the box thinker, not to use an overly stated sort of phrase, but it's true, and I think that Criptex, you are. I mean, it always shocks me when I'm on the show, and I just always really appreciate your angle. It forces me to think about things in a new angle, and thanks for having me back one more time.
no, anytime, Farmer. You know that you're welcome here anytime. And the day you want to do a show in your channel, man, I'm being glad to collaborate with you there also.
Oh yeah.
And Dan,
I would
thank
love
you
that.
Thank you so much, man. I
Absolutely.
Farmer,
appreciate.
What's your ad on YouTube, Farmer?
Oh,
I know Sleuth said you had a channel the other day. I didn't know you had a channel.
I do have a channel. Is there someone telling me? I'm just kidding. I do have a channel. Yeah, it's well, it's my name because I'm a real person. I live in Kalamazoo, Michigan. It's Derek DEREK_Farmer FARMER. I'm from Kalamazoo, Michigan, where I've lived for my entire life. Sans about 4 years in Fort Collins, Colorado, and about a few months in Anchorage, Alaska. But yeah, so thanks for asking. If you guys want to sub up to my channel, that's great. But honestly, if you don't want to and you just want to check some stuff out and not worry about doing all that stuff, I don't really care about monetizing or any of that. Check some stuff out. If you like it, you do. If you don't, hey, and the horse you rode in on,
Yeah, and I just dropped you the link of the Farmer's channel. There's a comment here from Subrosa. I don't understand well. I think Criptex should revisit your diagram of the two sides of the case. What do you mean, Subrosa?
I don't know. I don't remember having me. I don't remember having. Is it Dan she's talking about? Dan, do you know? Dan, do you know Sub Rosa?
Who?
Sub Rosa.
I know what she's talking about.
Okay.
Where you listed
all
the Delphi content creators on a scale from not guilty to guilty. Why do you say that, Subrosa? Do you want to move Criptex to the left or to the right? I accept
strategically right in the middle. That was a good graphic, by the way. I really did enjoy that when you laid out all the different creators, and on a scale of basically radical to commonsensical. It's pretty fun stuff. I like that kind of stuff. Yeah.
No. It wasn't that the intention for mostly pro Allen versus pro prosecution, because I think in both sides there are intelligent and bright people. But I'm gonna update the diagram with Farmer and Dan.
Kelly, I
I'm gonna
like to think I'm so much more than just a pizza guy, but yeah, 35 years, but I'm going to be getting out of that business because I'm now going to be the cargo van guy.
Dan is gonna be at the right side, and Farmer at the left middle side, something like that.
I feel pretty left. I'm a
Criptex,
liberal.
you know me, I make everybody mad.
I'm
a
just
liberal
kidding.
guy.
I'm the anarchist libertarian guy
I'm just
and
kidding,
the
you guys.
contrarian, so I pick on everybody.
I know. I love the shows you do with Finks. What's the name of
Phoenix?
your? Yeah,
Yeah, I love
Yeah,
Phoenix.
Finks. That's
People
right.
think I don't like it.
You said it right.
No,
Finks.
it's
the,
Phoenix. Like
the
the
guy
bird.
has some points very interesting, man, and the way he elaborates their ideas is I love it. Great, man. So, guys, thank you so much. That's
No,
gonna
thank
be
you,
all for
Criptex.
today.
Thank you for having me on. Everybody have a great night. What's tomorrow? Sunday. Let's just have one more day before the week starts and go Lions.
Yeah. Keep in touch, guys.
Yeah,
See ya.
peace,
Take
guys.
it
Thanks
easy.
for having us on.
Thanks for having me. Bye.
Ciao.